Well, Australia's manufacturing sector has been absolutely hammered by the COVID-19 pandemic, dipping by 6% in the past 2 years. But things are dramatically turning around, with global supply shortages opening up new doors for the Aussie clothing manufacturers. They've reported a surge in trade, with revenue from knitted product manufacturing spiking 13.2%. As exports rise, it is good news for domestic suppliers too, with homegrown manufacturer Merino Country experiencing a boost in business as Aussies flock to Australian-made products. Joining me now to discuss is Tim Piper from the Australian Industry Group and Merino Country Managing Director Kerrie Richards. A very good morning to you both. Tim, just so important for our manufacturing sector that things start to begin to improve. How much impact is it having on the economy, I guess, more broadly?
Well, over the last period of time, manufacturers have really started to improve because we have had to supply more back into our market. You know, it's a bit of a sleeper, the manufacturing sector. We've got over 900,000 people that are working in the sector, and many of them are full-time. And what we're finding now is the investment is coming back from the federal government, 1.6 billion there. From many of the private industries are also investing back. We're getting people onshoring again, so they're bringing factories back from overseas because we need to supply here in Australia. And we need to make sure now, as this investment occurs, that we continue to buy products that are being made in Australia.
Absolutely right. It's cautious optimism, isn't it? Because we need to see lasting change too. What types of products, for example, Tim, have we been having trouble getting hold of that might now we're seeing being manufactured here in Australia?
Well, Matt, here's one here. We weren't manufacturing many of these before this started, and we had to actually call in the army to help with the logistics to get more of our factories making these masks. So you'll see those, the sanitisers that we see everywhere now. Some of the companies will, and still are, manufacturing them 24 hours a day. Resource companies are pivoting and making some defibrillators, that sort of thing. And really, even the gin makers are making sanitisers. I'm not sure I'd like to drink that very much, but there is a real pivoting that's happening so that we can get what we need back into Australia.
Kerrie, your business, Merino Country, is experiencing its busiest quarter, I believe, in nearly 30 years, which is just fantastic and certainly reason to smile. Talk us about what is triggering that and what has been your experience over the past, I guess, 12 months.
Right. Well, we specialise in 100% merino, Australian merino fabrics and products. And in 30 years, we've never seen anything like this. So the beginning of last year, probably around February, we were working with Dr. John Fraser, who's head of the COVID response team, and he just said, people don't know it, but will need masks. So I guess we started making the first Australian cloth masks, and the first half of the year, that's basically all we did. And then it was very interesting. By about June, July, we were noticing a really big upsurge in people wanting not just our masks, but also the rest of our products. So I guess what it is that people are looking for security of product. They need to know where the product is coming from. What we're finding is that people are initially buying our masks, and then once they'd tried one product, they're coming back for more. And I think that basically people really want to know where their product is coming from, who's making it, and they really want to support local products and especially local quality products. And I guess the other thing is that, you know, the reality is that people like their own community and they like to know exactly where their products are coming from. What was interesting last year is that we supply thermals to the Victoria Police, and at one point in June, they desperately needed thermals for their police that were out doing work with COVID, and they needed their thermals very quickly. Now, we were able to turn around and deliver their 100% merino thermals in about 2 weeks, and if we had been manufacturing offshore, this wouldn't have happened. So people want quick response, they want quality, and they want to know who is actually making their products.
There's a couple of great points there. One is that there's a surge in domestic and international, and our exports as well, and also sort of this shift, this conscious shift towards Australian made. A big thank you to Tim and to Kerrie for your time this morning. Here's mine.